All right. Good morning, guys. How's everyone doing? So yeah, we have Jerome Powell. Yeah. It looks like we might. I mean, we definitely need at least something, right? Need someday. There's gonna be a day this week which is not as exciting as the rest, right? That's probably the unfortunate truth. We've had a lot of fun over the last few days. I'm waiting on the day where I'm just like, oh well. There's one of those days approaching here. Jerome Powell is going to be talking here this morning. Right now, I mean that's when it's slated for. I'm not sure exactly what he'll be I'm not going to play it right now. If you guys want to watch it, maybe on the side you can. But yeah, he's going to be talking right now. Let's see if I have a link to it. I can share it with you guys. I think it is right. Hold on one second. Yeah, I'm not sure. This was yesterday. I'm not sure the link. It's probably on the Federal Reserve site. Let me go ahead and pull it up. Yeah, I mean, if anyone has the link to it live, feel free to put it in the chat. But yeah, he will be talking. Here's the economic calendar for us to look at real quick. This is it right here. So, Fed Chair Jerome Powell speaks on digital challenges. I'm not sure exactly what that all means. I'm sure it'll just be another talk about inflation, interest rates. I'm sure that's where it always goes to, right? So that's happening at 8, which is right now. We'll see if there's any large market reaction to that. We just wanted to make sure you guys are aware of that this morning as we speak right now. So make sure if you see any large moves here on the market right now, it's most likely because of him opening his mouth, of course. So tomorrow, jobless claims. And then Friday, not much. We have the 5-year inflation expectations on Friday. So let's just be aware of that. So today, we'll see if we get some kind of pullback. Can't see you. Okay. You should be able to maybe turn your monitor on. So we'll see what happens today, guys. That's going to be important. We'll see if there's any market reaction to that. There's been a very big move over the last 4, 5, 6 days, right? It's been about... You can't see me. No one can see me? I mean, I don't know why you wouldn't be able to. Everything looks fine on my end. Everything looks just fine on my end. Just refresh, guys. If you can't see me, refresh the screen. All right. Anyways, so we have a little bit of downside this morning. Down about 0.73, but we've made a huge move over the last week. So it's been quite the ride. We'll see if there's a little bit of a pullback this morning, which I think is actually quite a good thing, guys. We need to see retracements. We need to see retracements along this ride. We can't just go vertical. That's just not, it's not healthy. So vertical moves never going to be something that retains itself. So we'll have to see if we get something small. Of course, you want to, you don't want to make lower lows and lower lows and lower lows and lower lows. That's not what we want to see happen. We want to see, something of a higher low form, something that is a previous support turning into support again, or just something that is not too deep. So we'll look at all that today. We'll look at, the technical levels that I'd want to see a pullback come back to, where I think it would be still bullish if we get a pullback. That is just some things that we want to make sure we're aware of. I don't know if people are kidding or not, but sorry if you can't see me. It's not on my end. At least it doesn't seem to be. If you can't see me, it's not on my end. Yeah, I mean, everything looks fine here, so I'm going to continue. I'm not going to deal with that. All right. If you can't see me, go outside. Go do something else. Maybe get a new comp. Something like that. So, we'll see what happens, guys. Here we go. So, today, futures, NASDAQ, S&P, and the Dow. We'll look at those, as always. Economic calendar, earnings calendar. We did the earnings calendar. Nothing much this week, guys. Nothing much. Nothing much on the economic. You had Adobe yesterday. Today, what do we got today? Today, we have nothing. Nothing important today. Nothing that I see. And then tomorrow, Darden, which is nothing that I'm that interested in. Okay. So I'm trying to, it says 611 people are here. Everything looks good on my end. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's YouTube. Maybe it's YouTube. So if you're here, you're here. If you're not, I'm sorry. If you can hear me, I don't know if you can hear me or not. But yeah. You guys are really, really tight. All right. So Tesla 950 breakout. That's been something that we've been watching, and it was a pretty big move. What a move on Tesla yesterday! Holy crap! That I didn't catch, unfortunately. I didn't catch it on Tesla. I do have shares, so I'm pretty happy about that. But I didn't catch that move on Tesla, unfortunately. I just didn't want to put more risk on the table. But congrats, guys, if you caught that 950 break. Apple daily chart, really nice breakout on the Apple daily chart. Amazon 3200 retest, that's what I'm looking for on the 3200. That would be a great retest. That's if we get a pullback on the market, I think you get a 3200 retest on Amazon. AMD, I've been looking to see if AMD can push over the 50, but it is just not pushing over the 50, and that is sort of stuck at that 50 SMA on the daily chart. NVIDIA to the 260 level. NVIDIA 260 is a very, very big support that needs to hold today. As you guys may or may not know, I'm in a NVIDIA swing trade, and if it breaks 260, I'm going to go ahead and get out with profits. I just don't want to see it under 260, which we might see today. So let's see what happens. I'll go ahead and talk to you about it today. Costco, all-time high double top. So Costco is at all-time high, guys, if you're aware. That stock has been extremely strong at all-time highs, basically, maybe like a 0.5% off. We should definitely be watching this name. Qualcomm, if the market does pull back today, as I talked about yesterday, Qualcomm reject the 20 SMA in the daily chart again yesterday. So if we reject on the market today, if we get a retracement on the market today, I definitely want to watch that. And then finally, the daily chart on Microsoft is something that I'm definitely keeping an eye out for. So we'll go over all this. We'll talk about pretty heavy on the tech side because I think tech is definitely somewhere we want to be. We want to be watching, and I think there's opportunity on the tech side. So, hold on, guys.
Catching up over.
Yeah, I just pulled up the stream on my phone and it came up perfectly. So I don't know what to tell you. All right, NASDAQ. NASDAQ. Here we go. So guys, we know big move on NASDAQ, you know, right off this 13K, right off the 13K. Let me just type in this. The problem is YouTube, not me. Okay. So NASDAQ 13,000, right? Big bounce. We got about 11, 12%. Yeah, around 13% to the upside. 13% to the upside in like 6 days. So very big move on the NASDAQ. 13% to the upside. We're sort of getting stuck here around this 14.6, 14.7 area. It's not quite a level that I was that worried about, but we are starting to see some resistance come in, and it's coming in here, right around this previous resistance, right around this 14,650, right here. You guys can see this previous high right here. This was back from February 15th, February 16th, and then right here, 14,670 again, big rejection right there. So double top right there. You guys can see in the NASDAQ, previous resistance. That's sort of where we're coming in and finding some, you know, we're struggling to get through. So that's a big watch for me today. That's a big level that it looks like we might have to retrace off of. And if we do, you know, I would probably want to see this retest here around 14,400. That's really the retest level that I'd want to see happen today. So right here, guys, I think you could definitely see a retest of this previous resistance. This could be where the market needs to retrace back to. I think this would be a very healthy retracement back to this level. That is exactly where I think you could see the market move lower to today. If we get more weakness, that's sort of where I think you would see a pullback to. Right here around this 14,400 area. Previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance. You come back down. You guys can see we're a little bit weak this morning. And then this move yesterday was just, you know, I like these moves and I don't like these moves because it's so big and it's too fast, and it's just, you know, you don't know if you're gonna hold that. So I don't think we're gonna hold this entire move. This is really large. I mean, what was this? This was 2% in like 2 hours. It's a really big move that is very hard for the market to hold. So guys, if you see a pullback today, I would not be worried about anything as long as we are above this 14,400. Let's just call it 14,450. We need to hold that level. If we do, this is just a very healthy, very, very healthy retracement. That could be a very nice retest. That is something that I would be watching today. So 14,450, that is the perfect retest level that I would love to see on this market. That's just about another 100 points lower. So that gives us a nice little pullback to sort of refresh, right? About a 1.5% pullback would be nice down to this 14,450. So that's what I'm watching there on the NASDAQ. If we go lower, you know, I wouldn't want to see these lows break right around 14.3. I definitely don't want to see these lows break right around 14.3. So sort of watching these Friday, Monday, Tuesday levels, guys. This is what I'd be watching. All these, you know, this little pile of consolidation here. This is where I'd be watching the market today, guys, if we get a pullback. All in this area between Friday and Tuesday. 14,450, 14.3, big levels. Let's see if we get a retracement today. If we do, then it could be a very nice little refresh for a push later this week into next week. As we know, monster resistance up here. 14,650, 14,670, right around 14.7. Big time resistance up there. Okay, ES. Actually, you know what? I want to show you one more thing. Where does the 50 SMA come in? 50 SMA comes in, yeah, it's right in that, right in that 14.3 area. That's where that 50 SMA comes in on the daily. I would also really like to see the 50 hold. I think that's another good, a really important thing to see. The 50 SMA, we want to see that hold for sure. We don't want to fall back below the 50 right here, guys. The yellow line, I would definitely want to see that 50 hold on the market. Okay, ES. First of all, again, 50. I want to see the 50 hold. I don't want to see this market go back below 50. That's going to be an important thing to watch. Moving average, 50 SMA. Make sure I want to see that hold. 4-hour chart. You guys can see we got a little bit of rejection sort of in this, back at this previous highs. You can see we went a little bit past it, but it's sort of all in this area, right around this 45.15. Maybe this double top's going to be tough as well, 45.80. There's a lot of resistance above that's going to be really tough. So 45.80, this 45.15, all pretty difficult levels to watch out for. On the retracement, it's the same as the NASDAQ, right? Where do I want to see, if we get a retracement, where do I want to see this market hold? It's right here at these Friday, Monday highs. You guys can see right there. Right there, you have the Friday, Monday, Tuesday levels. 44.60, 44.70. That would be the retracement that I'd be looking for. Resistance, resistance, resistance. If we get a break and retest here, that would be a really good thing in my opinion. I would want to see that, and I would want to see some support start to come and build in here. That would be the bullish case for me. So looking at the ES, I would really like to see this 44.70 area hold. That would be most important to me. If we drop that, then we want to see these lows like the NASDAQ around 44.35. We'd want to see the low of this channel hold as well. So, guys, in my opinion right now, I definitely think there could be some, retracements on this market. However, we just need to see how deep they are and how far we come down, because retracement on the market is never just a straight bearish thing. We could definitely be building for another move. We just have to see how far this goes. Does it start to crack below previous support? If it does, if we start to crack all these levels, then yeah, things get a little bit more concerning. But we just want to keep an eye on our levels. That's all we can do, right? All we can do in this market, instead of trading with our biases and our egos and being egotistical, all we can do is watch our levels, make sure we have the right levels to watch, and just see what the reaction is. If we start to break through these levels, then we can sort of turn a little bearish here. If we start to hold these levels, then we have to continue to look for upside because they're turning previous resistance into support. So let's just focus on the levels, see what the reactions are at those levels. 44.70, 44.40 on the downside, and then to the upside, this 45.15 on the ES. Those are some big areas to watch. So YM, if we go to the daily, you can see the YM. I would like to see, just like the other indices, hold the 50 SMA. By the end of this week, I'd like to see us close above that 50, which right now is around 34,300 right there. And then if we go to the 4-hour, we can see that really the big retest level is the 34,000. You guys can see from right here, previous resistance, previous resistance, previous resistance. You definitely do not want to see this drop below 34,000 moving forward. If we get a drop below 34,000 moving forward, I think this sort of, the momentum just dies off. Right? If you start to see lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and lower lows, then and we break under this 34,000, then I think your momentum is going to substantially slow down. So 34,000 is the big level in my opinion on the Dow. That's a level you definitely do not want to see break, because that would just be a good. If we held here, it would just be a perfect retest and a perfect higher low. That's sort of what you'd want to see if we get a pullback on this market. So just wanted to share with you guys, if a retracement comes, we have to expect some weekdays this week, in my opinion. But we have to focus on where the levels are and where the pullbacks are coming back to, right? That's our main goal now. Where does the pullback start, and where are the levels we need to hold? If you don't know what levels we need to hold, then you start to go crazy because you don't have structure. You're just like, oh God, the market's falling. Where is it going to go? Where's it going to go? Watch your levels, have your levels on your chart so that you know where, things can start to change or where things can start to hold. That's the most important thing coming into the day. So Russell, right up there in that 2100, man, it's getting close. And you saw that, you saw those small caps break out yesterday. GameStop, AMC, you had a little bit of momentum in the memes. So Russell is interesting. You definitely want to watch this 2100. All right, so to recap real quick, in the short term for today, just looking at today's price action, let's go ahead and go through all three really fast. NASDAQ, 14,450, previous highs from Friday and Monday and Tuesday. Not highs, but Tuesday morning. Previous resistance, I want to see that turn into support. That is a must. 14,450. If we break that, 14,300. On the ES, if we get a pullback today, we want to see 4470 hold. That's the previous highs of Friday, previous highs of Monday, and Tuesday morning. If we break through that, then 4,435. That's the lows that you must hold, right? And then finally, on the YM, I just think I want to see this 34,000 hold. That's what I want to see hold, the 34,000 level right here. If we get a retracement. All right, so that's the futures. There, yeah, MOAS is coming, Chef. The MOAS is coming. Better get ready. All right, Tesla. So, guys, Tesla was just a product of a huge breakout. Just a huge breakout over a monster resistance level. We all should have been aware of it, right? We all knew the 950 level was there. And when we got over it, it was just an instant reaction to the upside. Now, what happens today? What happens today? Right? That's what's on everyone's mind. I personally would love to see this. I would love to see this, just like my Square trade. I would love to see the retest of 950. If we get the retest of 950, I would definitely be willing to put some risk on the table. That would be just a fantastic opportunity if you get a 950 retest. This move was very large, guys, and if I know anything about how stocks move or technical analysis, you don't typically hold a move like this. That was a pretty unbelievable move. That's just a Tesla 950 breakout. You guys can see ever since the 950 breakout, it was just an incredible rally. So huge move. Personally, I would like to see this sort of retrace into the 950. If it does, then I think there's a lot of opportunity on the retest. That would be really nice. But, for Tesla to move back 50 points or 40 points just about, that's going to be, it's definitely going to be it's going to have to be a little bit of a weak day on the NASDAQ. So, double-edged sword there if we do get a Tesla pullback. But I think that would be the safest place to go ahead to take another entry. You guys can see previous resistance. That would be really nice on a pullback. Get a little bit of support at 950, turn it into support, and then try to take it back to the upside. So if we don't get that retest, guys, it's just going to be a total momentum trade. Scalping options. Everyone's going to be trading the hell out of it because really there's really nothing here to sort of find support. It's just a straight up move. So wherever we bounce, it's not going to be really off much of anything too strong. It's just going to sort of be a momentum trade because really there is no structure in this area. Make sure you know that, right? There is no structure here. Nothing that I would say, hey, this looks like a good support level. If we go to the 1 minute, we can probably find some really small areas to sort of watch. Like if we zoom into the 1 minute chart, we could sort of watch this previous low here, 970, maybe the previous highs, this previous high and low here at 977. So there's definitely some levels you can look at on the 1 minute. But I don't typically like to trade off 1 minute support levels. It's really not, the strongest of support levels. You could also, if you want today, pull out a fib and sort of pull it from maybe 950, or let's just say opening levels yesterday. If you want to pull out a fib, let's call it lows from pre-market. You can pull out the 38, the 50, the 61 if you'd like, to try to figure out where Tesla could bounce if it pulls back today. I personally am just going to enjoy my shares that I have, enjoy the ride on my shares. If I see a real setup that I like, then I will take it. And the only real setup that I'd like is a retest to 950. That's it. That's the retest I want. If it doesn't happen, I'll just ride out the shares and I'll enjoy the profits that way. So watch 950 retest today, guys. That is something that I would definitely be eyeing. Apple was a beast yesterday. What a beast Apple was. Awesome move. So, this is awesome stuff. You guys know we talked about this, all last week. We talked about this 150 level on Apple. We talked about it multiple times. And look at the bounce that we saw off 150. Just a huge bounce. 12% on Apple. That is a pretty monster move. Right through the daily chart. Sort of flag. And it's just beautiful. Previous resistance, support. You guys know, if you're someone that comes to these live streams, we talked about this support at 150. And in my videos, my Sunday video, we talked about Apple 150. Just a really nice move. We're above the 50. You're above the 100. You're above all the moving averages, which is very nice. So you guys can see big daily chart breakout, downtrend. You got above that bear or that bull flag. Now the question is, does this hold? Right? That's the next question. How far does this go? Can we hold this breakout? I would like to see. I'm definitely eyeing these previous highs right around here, right around this 168. It's sort of right there now. And then I'm also watching these previous lows and also this resistance. So if I go to the day or if I go to the 30 minute, actually go 15, I'm sort of watching a pullback to those same types of levels on the market from Friday and Monday, right in this 166 area. So if we get a pullback today, I think 166 is where you watch on the pullback. Right back to here. This could be a nice little retest back to these previous resistance levels. Resistance. If we pull back, I would like to see maybe that 166 area hold. However, just in the longer term, the longer macro sort of look here on Apple, guys, I think this is a fantastic breakout. This is the breakout that I talked about in my video on Sunday, the technical breakout that sort of is occurring here. If you draw it with the wick, this little candle wick, it's sort of still below. So it sort of depends on how you want to draw this. If you draw it with majority of the candles and this previous low here, you guys can see if you ignore, this is funny thing about trend lines, right? Because that's why you never can be too sure. If you ignore this candle, you have a really nice downtrend that matches all the candles. It touches once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and then you can see the breakout. Now, if you draw this including that little candle and only touch that little candle, you can see we're still below. So interesting. I'm still going to be careful here on Apple, but this is definitely a chart that I would be eyeing, guys. Apple's obviously a fantastic stock, and if we get more upside on the market, this is a really decent opportunity on this little breakout. Let's watch the 50 SMA and 100 SMA below as support. That's definitely where I'd want to see us hold, right in this area. 50 and 100 SMA sort of sitting here around this 165, 166. That's a level that I'd want to see hold. Amazon. So Amazon had previous support. You guys can see all in here around 3,200, and we got through it. Previous support that turned into resistance. You guys can see support into resistance, and we got through it. Now, what do we want to see, right? What do we want to see? We want to see the retest of 32. That's what I want to see on Amazon, guys. You can see we sort of already got the retest, but we can see that I would still think that there is a possibility for a little red move right back to 32, maybe a little hold, and then maybe a continuation. But I definitely need a little bit more here on Amazon to prove to me that this previous support has turned into support once again. You can see it was a very nasty resistance point here around 3,200 back in January, early February. So let's be careful there around 3,200. This is a big previous resistance. If we get market weakness, I think you will see a pullback to 32. That would be a really nice level to start sort of watching and seeing, does Amazon hold here? So I'm actually going to create an alert. I'm going to put it at or below 3,200. Let's just do 3,202. So I want to make sure I'm watching Amazon if it does pull back towards that 3,200. Because if it starts to sort of show some support there, then this could be a really nice opportunity. So let's watch that. AMD. So AMD is sort of failing this 50, guys, which I'm a little concerned of. You can see right here. Right here on AMD, if we zoom in, the 50 SMA is the yellow line, and you can see we're starting to fail that 50. So we got to be a little careful here on AMD. We definitely saw some weakness on the chips yesterday. NVIDIA and AMD were a little bit weak yesterday, and that is a little concerning. So if we get more weakness on the chip stocks, this 50 SMA might be where AMD rejects. So I'm definitely being careful here on AMD. I don't want to see it back below 110. I think 110 is the key level here. That is right back down. Let me pull it up. Go to the 30-minute. Zoom out. So you definitely just don't want to see it back below these lows here. 110, that would be definitely not a good sign for AMD. So you have a little bit of a triple bottom at 110. You guys can see right here. You have a low here, low here, low here. Really nice support at 110 here. That would be the area that you do not want to see us break below. Because if we get it below 110, I think you start to lose a lot of momentum. So on the daily chart, we can see we are in that same little wedge, that same little bull flag that that you saw in NVIDIA and Apple. I would look to see if you reject that 50 SMA. That looks a little bit difficult. A little bit difficult at the 50. So watch out for that. If you get market weakness, that could be a fantastic short play, right? AMD off the 50 and just a rejection off that level if you get NASDAQ weakness. All right, NVIDIA. So we all know this level's tough, man. This is a brick wall. This is a diamond-plated wall. We just cannot get above it. It looks a little difficult. It's definitely a little concerning. So NVIDIA 270, guys, just a really, really tough level. 100 SMA as well. Not only a previous supply, but 100 SMA. So we have a lot of rejection here, and a very difficult area for us to see movement through. So you guys can see here on the daily, big supply, previous resistance, again, turning into resistance again, and the 100 SMA is just sitting there holding us down. If we go to the 15-minute, we can see the last almost 3 days, Monday and Tuesday. Look at the choppiness that started to come up here at this 270 level. You tried to get through it, big rejection, tried to get through it, big rejection, and you're starting to slip here. So, it looks like we might drop this 260. I definitely do want to see 260 hold. I think if you drop 260, you probably start to move lower into this move here. So 260 is probably going to be where I take my profits on my swing trade. I got into these back last Thursday, so still going to be a nice little profit. Won't be as nice as I imagined. I thought we'd get through I thought we'd at least try to get through this 270. But if we drop 260, I'll probably have to take it, and maybe I'll look for it again after I see a little bit more strength into this 270. So 260, you definitely don't want to see that, guys. If you see that, I'd be willing to play this to the downside because there is nothing of support here. Look at this. Look at this. This was Friday morning. Look at that move on Friday, just vertical. And if you get into that area, there's not going to be much support here, guys. So watch that 260 today on NVIDIA. and then see if you can get that push over 270. I think it's a little bit far-fetched, especially with the market not looking too strong today, but of course anything is possible. 260, 270, that's the channel we're in. That's what I'd be watching on NVIDIA. NVIDIA is a interesting name. Okay, Costco. Yeah, I have NVIDIA option. It's up about $1,000 right now, but this morning I'm probably going to take a little bit of a hit on it. Probably lose a little on it. Costco, what a move! Look at this wow, this is a sick retest. Look at that. That's just a monster retest right there, like a multi-day, huge, like just a large retest. Look at, you get your break, long continuation, almost 3-4 months of continuation. You get a pullback over the first month of the year, and look at where you retested. It's just absolutely gorgeous. Previous resistance into support, perfect break and retest on Costco, and you can see that you started to push off it again. So this would have been a fantastic swing trade entry off this 470. Obviously, in hindsight, it's easy to say, but if you guys see these types of retests, then it could be a very nice play if you guys start to see these retests. So big push. You got this double top at all-time high, which is a little concerning. Can Costco get through all-time highs in a market that is a little bit questionable? If we get a pullback on this market, probably not. If we continue to rally on the Dow and on the Nasdaq, then yeah, maybe. But just be careful up here, guys. I wouldn't be someone that's chasing an all-time high breakout in this market. It's definitely a difficult thing to see in a pretty, arguably a pretty weak market, right? We have seen a little bit of positivity this week, but still a lot of question marks on this market. Do I see a stock breaking all-time highs? Hard. It's definitely going to be hard to get through that. But something I just wanted to share with you guys today, make sure you're aware of this. Costco is a beast. It's a beast of a stock. It's a long-term investment without a doubt. I don't think Costco's going anywhere. Buying shares, I wouldn't, I never like to advise people to buy shares at all-time highs. But if you have a long-term time horizon, the worst that you do, you dollar cost average into this thing if it does sort of slip. And overall, just look at this chart. I mean, I don't think you can complain about Costco. Just a beast of a stock. I wanted to share it with you guys today because I don't know how many people really watch Costco. I know a lot of us in the chat do, but I think a lot of people sort of forget about this name. It is a very, very strong name and something I would be watching, on a consistent basis, even as just in your long term. So Costco all-time highs. Let's see what happens there. Definitely a stock that I would watch. Okay, I'm still very interested in this downside move on Qualcomm. If we get weakness on the market, this is going to be an opportunity, without a doubt. We can see this is a break and retest to the downside, so I'm just waiting for it to occur. Previous support turned into resistance, and I'm looking to see if it turns into resistance again here. I think this could be a really, really killer opportunity here if we get this previous support into resistance again. Right there, we also have the 20 SMA, which is a very strong level right now. So you can see the 20 has held this thing down quite a bit. Rejection, 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 rejection. And I want to see if we get another rejection off that 20. This could be a very nice downside play for a continuation on this little downtrend. So definitely something I'm watching. Definitely an area of potential resistance here at 160. And if we get market weakness this week, let's say we end the week on a pretty ugly note. Let's say today, Thursday, and Friday we start to slip and there's a lot of pressures on the market and you're looking for a way to play the downside, I think this one sets up a really nice play. So I'm definitely watching this. Break and retest to the upside or to the downside. It's the same thing if we flip the chart. You guys can see. Really nice. Break and retest. 20 SMA. So I'm looking to see if I can get that to the downside. Okay, that's that. And then finally, I want to show you guys Microsoft, because Microsoft is another stock that, just a week ago, you had the opportunity to buy Microsoft 20% off the lows, 20% off the highs, right? Now you can only buy it 10% off the highs. So this is a stock, more than anything, that I would just love for people to take a look at and really consider adding shares of. I'm not saying you should. I can't tell you that. I'm not a financial advisor. But I mean, it's not very often you get Microsoft 20% off the highs. This looks like a good opportunity to me. This looks like a strong support level that seems to establish itself pretty well here. Previous support, into support, into support, into support, into support, and we continue to bounce off 280, and we're starting to creep back higher. So, dollar cost averaging here, even if you have to dollar cost average back to 280, maybe even in the 250s, 260s, it's not that bad if you have a long-term time horizon. So I think a great opportunity on Microsoft here. You're starting to see that support definitely establish itself. I like it a lot. I'm definitely someone that's adding to this pretty religiously. I mean, every week I buy Microsoft. So nice stuff. You're getting a break over this 300 area, which is quite interesting, actually. 302. This was a previous high. If I go to the 4-hour, you guys can see on the 4-hour chart, we had some previous resistance here, right around this 302, all right here, and we got a little push through. We're getting the retest, but the retest we need to see hold. We need to see this sort of 302, 300 area hold, maybe even back down to this 300 area. I would like to see sort of this area, sort of an area, not much of just a single line. I would like to see sort of this area here on the retest hold. If we do not hold that, then you probably start to move lower. If you break 300, then you probably move lower. But definitely an interesting little breakout on Microsoft yesterday above 302. You guys can see the push to 305. Can we hold up here? Can we get a little retest form here? Does Microsoft want to bounce off previous resistance, right? Previous resistance. Do we want to get a bounce off that resistance? That's what I'm watching today on Microsoft. You can see in the daily, it's actually a pretty nice daily chart little breakout. Can we get some more continuation? Can we hold the 50? These are all questions that I am watching because so many of these charts on the tech names, this is why I sort of focused pretty heavily on tech this morning for you guys. There are so many tech names that are making very interesting charts on the daily. Tesla starting to break out, really big breakout on the daily, right? Apple breaking out on the daily. Microsoft, every stock that we talked about that you guys should be watching if this market returns. Nvidia breaking out on the daily. Right? All these strong tech names, the names that people are dying to buy shares in, right? When people want to buy shares, when people want to get deals on the stock market, if they think the market's going to return, where are they putting their money? They're putting it in Apple. They're putting it in Microsoft. They're putting it in Tesla, in Nvidia, in potentially AMD. Right? These are staple names that are just fantastic opportunities when they pull back double digits. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I think we'll continue to see that happen. Every time we get a 20, 30% pullback, there will always be opportunity on the backside on these stocks. I can't say the same for, Peloton and Roku and, Affirm and Zoom and, DoorDash and all these other names that I really don't think there's the same type of, elite level like Apple and Microsoft and Nvidia and Tesla. So that's why I want to focus on these today for you guys. These are stocks that I would absolutely be watching and seeing if there is more upside on them. So that's what I had. Let's go ahead and go over what the members want to look at. Not much today. So first one is Visa, right at the 220 level. Let's take a look at Visa here. Yeah, it's just sort of in the middle of this range. Whoever put this in here. Yeah, 220 is definitely a big level. I just am a little... I don't really like trading... I really don't like trading like when something's in the middle of a range. Do you see this is sort of like a big range? It's sort of a difficult area to trade, right? Because you're just sort of trading in between two big levels. I feel like this could go either way. So pretty difficult, but yeah, 220 is definitely a big level. It has been in the past. See what it does off that. But I just don't like how it's sort of in a range. This is really difficult for me to, to trade. I would much rather look for upside on these lows and downside on these highs. Look at that bounce. That's the trade you want to take, guys. This, when you see something like this, when I see a chart like this, I instantly think to myself, I missed it. Yeah, Google's another one. I missed this trade, and I can't chase it. Because look at how great of an opportunity it was to buy Visa off this 195. It was obvious, right? Bounce, bounce, bounce again, right? Triple bottom, very nice. That's the trade. This is the trade. This is the trade you're taking. If you're a successful trader, if you're profitable, if you're consistent, that's the trade you're taking. Not the chase trade where you have no idea where this goes. People getting in here are just guessing. So I don't like an entry here. I think the entry is either here or here. Those are your entries. And you got to be patient. You got to wait. Home Depot. Really nice rejection off 340. Really clean. You guys can see. Rejection, rejection, rejection. Came back into it. Break and retest. Rejection. Break. Retest. Perfect. Break and retest on Home Depot. Rejection at 340. It's still sort of holding, a sort of an uptrend, right? Still sort of holding the uptrend. So that's what I'd watch. I'd watch the uptrend. You could definitely call this a bear flag. If Home Depot breaks this, you're coming back down. If Home Depot breaks this uptrend, you're coming back down. So watch that uptrend, watch the 20, and then you still got huge resistance on 340. You still got huge resistance at 340. So watch out for that. I'm going to go over two more names, Shopify and PayPal, because I want to show these two, and then I'm going to get out of here, guys. Everyone's complaining about can't seeing, so I might as well just go to the Discord chat and call it a stream. So apologize to anyone that can't see or hear, even though you probably can't even hear me, but not really something I can fix there. So Shopify has had a pretty big move, but just be aware of this 780, guys. That's what I would say. It looks like a good opportunity, but this previous level here. Hold on, guys. This previous level here looks pretty tough, right? Previous support, and if that comes back, that's going to be some pretty intense resistance, right? Right around here. Support, support, support. Watch out for this resistance. If you get a push into 785, that would be a really tough area. So watch that on Shop. And then finally, PayPal. I'm looking to see if you get another retest of this 113. You guys can see I actually have an alert there. 113, 112. That would be a perfect pullback and opportunity on the retest right there. Previous support or previous resistance into support. Definitely something I'm watching today. In this week. PayPal. I know it's not a name that's strong. I know it's a really crappy stock, but there is opportunity, just like Square. $800 yesterday off Square. We talked about this. This was the first thing we talked about yesterday in the live stream, guys. The first thing. I hope some of you, anyone catch this with me in the live stream. If you're not in the Discord, I know you guys in the Discord caught it with me, but I would love to see some people that come to the live stream that actually take trades that we talk about here, because we're right quite a bit of times. So previous resistance. This was the first chart we pulled up yesterday on the live stream. We talked about the break and retest at 130, and this was just an absolutely killer trade. So congrats, guys, on Square, if anyone caught this with me. All right, guys. Basically, to wrap up this stream, I would say I think you definitely anticipate some weakness. I think you have to anticipate a little bit of weakness on this market. You're already sort of seeing it this morning. I think you probably need to come back to 14,450, guys. That's my honest opinion. Moving into today, we need a pullback to 14,450, which is about another 90 points lower. I think that's definitely healthy. It unfortunately will hurt some of the trades I'm in, but I'm not going to be scared of, further dated contracts if we get a pullback to 14,450. I think that actually is a good thing for me. So looking at this chart on your screen, you guys can see that big level that's running across the middle of your screen. That's where I want to see the market pull back to. That would be the level that I want to see us hold. So that's what I'm watching today. I would expect a little bit of weakness. I would not go crazy out of the gates. Let's see what this market does. We definitely need to get a pullback. We were up 13% in 3 trading days. That's too much, right? That's a little bit too much. Maybe a little retracement. Get us, let us cool off a little bit. Let us take a little nap, and then let us start to curl back to the upside. Bearing any type of ridiculous macroeconomic changes, of course, I can't predict those guys, so I'm not Nostradamus. If there is something that happens here in the future on the macro side of things, everything we talk about today is just thrown out the window. So we'll have to keep an eye on that, of course. You still got Russia, Ukraine. You still got Jerome Powell talking. We'll have to make sure we're aware of those things as well. But on the technical side, 14,450, that's the pullback that I want to see today. All right, guys. Hope everyone had a great day. I don't know why people are still here asking where I am at 850. That really doesn't make much sense to me. I mean, you're just sitting here for 50 minutes wondering why, it won't work. Sorry, guys. I don't know what the problem is. It's definitely not on my side. It's showing me that there's an excellent connection, 1,200 people watching. I don't see the problem on my side, so I apologize if anyone can't see or hear, or maybe you just can't see but you can hear, or maybe you can hear but can't see. I don't know. I don't know, but I've seen nonstop messages in the chat that nothing's showing, so obviously something is wrong. So, guys, I hope you have a fantastic day. Hopefully tomorrow the live stream works. Hopefully YouTube doesn't mess up tomorrow. But thank you guys for being here. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you were able to watch it today, if you were, you are the chosen ones. If you were able to watch today, so hopefully it gives you some value. Press the like button. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Let's see if we can get to like 500 likes today. That would be awesome. You only see one like? Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't know, man. Whatever. Thank you, guys. Can someone type in the chat what is he saying? Yeah, we're going to do a little play-by-play. Someone type the entire dialogue of everything I said today. All right, guys. I hope to see you guys in the next stream. Press the like button and have a fantastic day. Peace out.